I want to talk about acceptance. Acceptance in the sense that you're accepting things that are happening. For the longest time, I struggled with just trying to accept all the bad things that were happening in my life. And it really puts you on a path that screws you over in the long run because you just can't accept what's going on. You don't understand why it's happening, and you don't know how you can change it. You don't see a feasible option out, and all you see is a sort of a dark road ahead of you. And I guess that's one, not being optimistic, but two, it just you become very closed-minded. You don't see the bigger picture. And you know, it's hard to accept things that are happening, but regardless whether you accept them or not, they're happening, and there's not really anything you can do to change what's happening. But you can be optimistic. You can definitely take the situation you're in and understand that there's a bigger picture here. There's other ways around this, you know. And it doesn't have to be as hard as you're making it feel, you know. You're giving yourself the hardest ways out, but it's actually a lot easier than that. Now, I don't know everybody's situations. I'm sure there's lots of people who are going through a tough time that I've never been through, I've never had to deal with. But at the same time, I've been through some pretty tough times myself as well. One example is about a year ago, I was sitting here on this very deck and I didn't have a single dollar to my name, and I nearly lost like absolutely everything. I had no work, I had no friends, I had no one to go to, I had barely anything there was nothing I could really... Well, there's nothing I could see at the time that I could have done. But it was only after I accepted that situation that things started to fall in place. I said, well, I've put myself in this position and now I have to get myself out. And whether I like it or not, this is the situation I'm in, and I need to do the best thing by me, by my own legacy. I need to undertake the hardest challenge in the world, which is fix my situation. And you know, it took countless nights of just feeling like it was never going to work, feeling like that was it. I was almost accepting of that. I was almost accepting of, well, this is it. There's nothing I can do. I've tried everything. But it got to a point where I understood that I just needed to get myself out of there. And like, you know, it's hard for someone who's closed-minded to have an open mind, especially when there's no one exactly around them guiding them how to do that. But once I had an open mind, I started reaching out. I went to countless job interviews. I went to countless people talking to them about my skills and my history, and eventually I got myself into a position where I was stable. But if it weren't for the people that I met along that road, I don't know where I'd be. Like, I literally don't know if I'd be here right now talking to you about this, but it's just so crazy, isn't it? It's just so crazy that you can be in that sort of position where almost everything ends, and then the next minute everything's okay. And I guess that's what teaches us. That's what teaches us to accept. That's what teaches us to understand that acceptance is accepting the position you're in and figuring out how to handle it. And most of the time it's not as hard as we think. We make it out to be so hard. And it is definitely hard, but it's not so hard that there's no options. There's plenty of options. Again, I don't know you whoever's listening to this, I don't know your story. I don't know what you've been through. But I am positive and I'm sure that there is other ways out of this. And I hope you can get through that by being accepting of your situation and understanding that you can get through that. You can definitely get through that. I don't mean for these sort of conversations to be deep. I don't mean to really trigger any. Well, I am trying to trigger something emotional, but I'm not trying to make it super duper deep. I'm just trying to talk about the truth, and that one word came across my head this morning on my run: acceptance. Just accepting. So yeah, I don't know. I think as a society we don't have a grasp on having an open mind. Maybe half of us do, but it feels like the other half make it very difficult for themselves. So if you know anyone that is making it difficult for themselves, or is closed-minded, or isn't aware of the options that they have out there, maybe try and reach out to them, talk to them about it, ask them, hey, are you okay? Like, what can we do? Can we work together? Because often, a lot of the time, we're on our own, and that's just how it is. And I think the best service I can provide for people like myself who were on their own for quite a while, the best service I can provide for people like that is do this. Do the videos on the internet. Try and get this message to someone. That's it. Alright. See ya.